The letter arrived on a Tuesday. It was sealed with black wax. The solicitor's words were cold and final. My grandmother, Alara, was gone, and I, Clara, had inherited everything. Her house stood alone, perched on a hill overlooking the village of Blackwood Creek. It was a place I had never visited, a place my mother refused to speak of. The house was a silhouette against the gray sky. It seemed to watch me as I approached. The air grew cold. A shiver ran down my spine, a feeling of deep unease. It was more than just an old building. It felt alive, breathing a quiet, ancient sorrow into the wind. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of dust and dried herbs. Sunlight struggled to pierce the grimy window panes. It cast long, dancing shadows across the floorboards. Furniture was draped in white sheets. They looked like silent, waiting ghosts. A grand portrait of my grandmother hung above the fireplace. Her eyes seemed to follow me. They were dark and knowing, filled with a sadness I could not comprehend. I felt like an intruder in this place, a stranger walking through the memories of a life I never knew. The silence was heavy. It pressed in on me from all sides, a physical weight that made it hard to breathe. I spent the first day exploring the rooms. Each one was a time capsule. A bedroom held a single, perfectly made bed. A study was filled with books on folklore and local history. Their pages were brittle and yellowed. I found a small, locked chest in the attic. Dust motes danced in the single beam of light from a high window. The chest was cold to the touch. It seemed to vibrate with a strange energy. I had no key. I felt an irrational fear of what might be inside. It was a container of secrets, a vessel of the past that the house was determined to keep hidden from my prying eyes. That night, sleep would not come. The old house groaned and settled around me. Every creak of the floorboards sounded like a footstep. Every sigh of the wind sounded like a whisper. I lay in the dark, my eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. The feeling of being watched was stronger than ever. It was a malevolent presence, a cold spot that moved through the room. I pulled the covers tighter, a childish defense against the unknown. The house was not empty. I was not alone. And whatever shared the space with me did not want me here. It was a silent, chilling warning in the deep of the night. The whispers began on the second day. They were faint at first. I thought it was just the wind whistling through the eaves, a trick of the old house's drafty corridors. But the sounds grew clearer. They formed a single word, a name. Clara. My name. It was a soft, sibilant sound like leaves rustling on a dry autumn day. It seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. I would be in the kitchen and I would hear it from the hallway. I would be in the garden and I would hear it from the trees. The whisper was a constant companion, a chilling reminder of the house's unseen occupant.